Hello and welcome to a last Epoch stream. This is Geo Galvanic here. Today I'm going to be bringing you some PotionMancer, trying out a potion-based build. Apparently, someone really was very curious as to what is in my fridge. My fridge is directly behind me, so I'll tell you what's inside of it. I'm assuming that's why someone asked, but we're going to start off with that today. Inside of my fridge, I have oranges, bananas, condiments being mustard, mayonnaise, and ketchup, and 2 hot dogs. In my freezer, I have chicken patties, and that is it. So, hopefully whoever was asking is going to see this VOD and they'll know what was in my fridge. Or if not, I will highlight it for them, and I will post it somewhere. Other than that, we're going to get started with a new necro, or acolyte at least. So the idea here is basically I haven't done a potion-based build. I haven't seen too many other people do potion-based builds. And I have a reason for not having done it so far. Primarily being that... Oh, I did not mean to start this character. Primarily being that I just really don't like the feeling of having to rely on something that you don't know if it's going to be there or not. However, there are a ton of potion-based mechanics in the game, so by not doing a potion-based build, I've been ignoring a large part of what is in the game. So, having done my research and also based off of the item I'm going to synergize with, the Acolyte has the most potion-based stuff. Primalist following after the Acolyte. And then the Mage and Sentinel don't really have too much synergy with potions other than what you can throw on them. So, we're going to name our Acolyte the PotionMancer. Simple and descriptive. And waiting for it to load. Here we go. So, hey Inferna, how's it going? Saw you in Zinryu's stream yesterday. Zinryu has 2 more streams this weekend. Good, you just got home from work. Me as well. Just got everything set up to stream today. So we're going to try doing like one of the builds I've just been absolutely avoiding so far. And we're going to try to synergize with the Tome of Necrotic Elixirs. Because I have used... Oh, for a second it looked like I killed that girl. It was kind of funny. Die! Explosion. But yes, so the Tome of Necrotic Elixir I have used before in a build, and the added necrotic damage was pretty nice. So we're probably going to go primarily necrotic based, so that we can benefit from both added spell damage, which I believe is one of the passives that we can get from on potion use with the Necromancer, as well as from the Grimoire of Necrotic Elixirs. Also, shout out to everyone that followed off stream over the last few days. Now at 48 followers. 2 away from that goal. So that was Mass Player, Toto, Schwan, and Clash Rep. Appreciate the follows. I've only been off stream for 3 days and it feels like a week. It's been a long 3 days. I liked those pictures you post in the Discord of your forklifts. They look snazzy. I don't think I've ever seen forklifts that good of a paint job before. Always like orange. Yeah, welcome. Alright. So, of the skills I have right now, Rip Blood is a potential contender for being a skill I might specialize in. It does have, or used to have some nodes. Let me double check, make sure it still has the nodes. They'll let you change it to a necrotic ability. Spell damage, increased damage. Yeah, so it can be converted into necrotic damage. But probably why I won't is because if I'm relying on potions, I don't think I'm going to need a whole bunch of health sustain other than what I'm getting from the potions. You spent all day today making decals for models. It's most of what you do. Interesting. That makes sense. So I hopefully have plenty of lucky affixes. I have 49. Should be good. I'm going to see how lucky I am today. So do you primarily work for like big contracting companies that just like will ask you to fill out some orders for them, or do you work with more like smaller construction companies? I have a feeling, wouldn't most of the bigger ones, yeah, you, Inferna, would most of the bigger companies make their own vehicles? Buy used ones, and you paint them and sell them as is. Interesting. So you're basically just a reseller. Got some Morrow shards, which is fun, but not the build we're going to go for today. Yeah, in service. Oh. You're like the full package site. Your main office is in Chicago. But you're in Arizona, was it, right? Phoenix. Yep. I was right. So we're going to spec in Rip Blood, I guess, for now. So I'm definitely not going with the other two abilities. Increased damage, additional armor, intelligence, and necrotic protection. I think getting some of the other protections might be easier than getting armor. Even though intelligence would for sure benefit my other skills and necrotic protection isn't too bad, I think I'm going to get enough necrotic protection from other stuff, but I don't think I'm going to be getting enough armor otherwise. So I'll just put my points in there. You're opening a second office in Mesa later this year. Cool. Is that going to mean more work for you? Or is it going to be more or less the same? We're going to go get some chess. I see this door, and I mark it for death. Alright. So what I really want is anything that's lucky, but also realistically anything is useful except for weapons. So probably want a Wanderer Scepter. There's high potential for me going with a Harvest build, because Harvest you can spec into necrotic damage. And being melee, I'll have a better chance of getting potions than I would being ranged, in theory. Right, Silver Wand is probably better than this branch. Heater Shield, Helmet, cool. And then I'll go get our book. You're told that one is going to be mainly good trucks that need little or no work and fast resell. What's the build tonight? Glad you asked, Magic. I'm still figuring it out, but the basic concept behind it so far is going to be potions, 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 lots of potions. So what I know I'm going with so far is going to be primarily doing necrotic damage because of this tome I'm going to pick up here somewhere. Tome of Necrotic Elixirs, or Grimoire of Necrotic Elixirs, which is going to drain my health when I use a potion, give me increased Void, Necrotic, and Poison Protection when I use a potion, and plus 20 necrotic damage to melee attacks and spells on potion use. So my goal is to be spamming lots and lots of potions. However, this is locked to level 24, so the primary component of my build is not going to be in place until then. Throw on a monolith because I can. And what else can we take? I'm not really going to have minions, so that jacket's not going to be too useful. I'm not planning on doing a lot of fire damage, but the Isidora's set could be useful. It's going to give me plus necrotic damage. Chance to chill with necrotic abilities. I'm just going to have to watch out to make sure I don't get the bug from putting this gear on. Don't want to nerf myself. Blighted Ancient Tome. What's the spell mana cost for blood? 3. Cool. Put on a scepter. Now it's 0. And what can we put the lucky prefix on? We can put lucky on everything except for weapons and shields, it looks like. So, do you have a belt or a ring or something I can start with? That's pretty simple. Amulet, increased crit chance, increased stun chance, a sash. Start off with a sash. So we're going to make this the luckiest sash of all time. Alright. So the other potion stuff I'm going to be able to use, stun avoidance, health gain, increased, health gain added, dodge rating, and health regen. So I'm probably going to be going primarily chance to find, so that I can get a ton of potions so that I can keep spamming the buffs from the necrotic elixirs book. But I'm also probably going to be putting some points into health, both increased and added, and then I think I'm going to try and do the dodge rating with all 8 of the ones that I have. Shop for more stuff. We'll buy a book just to have it. And we'll craft on the ring. And uh-oh. No. There we go. I was bugged. Look. Alright, broke a ring already. Perfect. Yeah. Luck. Hideouts or no? There will not be any hideouts. Well, I guess they haven't said they won't, but they're leaning towards not. Because they want players to actually be in the cities and towns. They don't want to have like everything be a ghost town. Alright, more armor. Which I think makes sense. What I would love to see is where if it's not ghost town, it's not a ghost town in PoE, but you get it. You're wondering about trade. I imagine they'll have a decent way to do trade. Like teleport to your friend or something. Because you won't be able to trade with anyone that's not your friend. All of the trading will be done through the bazaar. What I would like to see is like each player has their own version of the town that they see. Like if you're in the divine, like there's different eras for each of the towns, and you can like see the other players that are in the other eras of the same city. But like a person who's in the divine era would see the divine era version of the city, and then someone else who's in the primal era sees like a different skinned version of the city, and then maybe there could be like different NPCs or like other stuff that the player could put in the town that only they could see and interact with. But then they still see all of the other travelers that are in the city with them. So it still feels alive, but then you also have the feeling of having an impact on the town itself. I think that'd be cool. Did I buy the $50 pack? You're thinking of buying the $35 pack before the beta drops. I did not buy the $50 pack. I bought a Kickstarter pack and the $100 pack because I like this game. But if money is tight for you, I would definitely wait for the $35 pack. It's coming. The beta is hitting in. Oh geez, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. 5 days. So you can just hang out, watch some streams, learn about the game. Buy the alpha pack for the turtles for sure, because you can always later go ahead and buy the Skolin pack up until, you know, when the game actually releases, if you ever decide that you really want Skolins. But the turtles, this is your last chance to get the turtles. And this is the same price. So if you know you want the game, you might as well get the pack now. However, I should mention that Zinryu, who is another streamer for Last Epoch, is doing 2 more giveaways to give away the $35 packs during his streams. So if you want to see if you can get a pack from a giveaway, you should tune into his streams. He's doing one tomorrow and one on Saturday. Magic's idea is that if you have your own town that you can get decorations and craft, and say there's an end game mode that gives you a checkpoint every 3 zones, then you go into someone's town as a place to deposit and stash and trade and sell whatever. That way you get to see other people's towns and what they've designed. Interesting. That would be pretty cool. That sounds reminds me of Crowfall's kind of take on instance player areas, where like you kind of invite everyone into your player area, except for I feel like it's going to be used a lot less than Crowfall, because you have that interesting point where like it's part of the gameplay mechanics where you actually do it, which also reminds me of Animal Crossing. Like Animal Crossing had specific objectives where you had to like go to other people's towns to find stuff and bring it to your town. Those DS days. Nintendo DS. Make every town always have a stash vendor, etc. Yeah, for sure. When I move, why is the ground flickering? It is a Linux bug that they have fixed for the beta already. But it's just a very, very niche specific bug. Oh, look at this, a lucky silver ring. How lucky! What fortuitous drops. Especially considering, let me check the roll in the lucky silver ring, because I like the movement speed on the silver rings. It was the worst roll on the increased movement speed, so maybe not so lucky. You're hoping to get one of those. Oh, from Zinria's stream, for sure. Buy more cosmetic stuff to have the best looking city, yes. Then you gotta kind of wonder, what would the impact be? Like, is it just something that looks cool, or is it supposed to be like a social feature where you're supposed to use it as a way to interact with people? And then people might be upset if like there's an based off of the algorithm, if their city's not chosen often enough or something like that. What sort of feel do you get from the game? Diablo feel, PoE feel, WoW feel. So I will say I haven't played a ton of ARPGs. I played about 40 hours of PoE, which if you've played PoE, you know that's really not much at all. I basically played through the campaign once. And I haven't played too many other ARPGs. Just mostly stuff that I played casually. A lot of my experience has been from MMORPGs, like Guild Wars. I played some WoW. And I played a bunch of other games from other genres as well. But from what I've heard from other people, the feel is kind of a mix between Diablo and PoE. It's got that middle ground, and it's got pacing that's similar to what would be in between Grim Dawn and PoE as well. You had to step out. What was the question? I'm not sure. What was I answering? Oh, was it when I was saying you have to consider what the function would be, or if there is one? Is it just you get to see cool cities, or is it more intended to be a social feature? And you gotta wonder if people would be upset if the algorithm wasn't bringing enough people to their town, or they thought it wasn't bringing enough people to their town. Alright, harvest. You don't care about housing in any games you've played. Me either. I've always thought it was like a cool idea. I've always like tried to get some cool housing, but I don't think it's ever really turned out well. So I'm gonna despec and rip blood now, and just respec and harvest. I'm gonna go straight for the convert everything to necrotic. That's gonna be our goal. We're gonna finish up the armor there. So we have chance to gain ward when things die. We have vitality, which grants minions health, and increased attack and cast speed if I've summoned a minion. So yeah, I might start putting points in here to get that later, and put the rest of the points in the armor. But if you knew people were going to see it, you might be inclined to actually make it look good. Yeah. You want things you use close to each other? Yeah, that's pretty much like whenever I play Minecraft, I always like make it the most functional layout ever. Just have to put everything like super tight and compact. GF Gino is hoping for a bunch of variety. PoE is fun in that aspect. And I think, yeah, I think the devs are going to be trying to do the same as well. The class structure for Last Epoch is pretty unique, and there's tons of varieties in what you can do with the skills, because every skill has its own unique skill tree. Like, you can specialize this harvest skill in so many different ways. You only have 20 points that you can use. But you can do things like get necrotic damage, you can get ward gain, you can have it buff your minions, I think. Yeah. You're hoping for more of a D2 field where characters outclass some areas but struggle to others. That is definitely what they're trying to go for. Like certain builds are going to struggle with certain minion modifiers more than they will with others. The like a heavy nuke based build is going to probably struggle against dodge based mobs. Because they're going to have a harder time actually landing that hit, whereas a dot-based or attack-based build is going to have a better time, because they're either going to get enough hits in that they're going to be like, the mob dodging isn't going to matter, or they're going to have the dots that basically just go through the dodge and deal damage anyways. Yeah, the skill trees are really cool. Taking a step further, I think if I had to describe it, I would say that PoE is a game that has a very high skill ceiling. It takes a lot of information and knowledge to get started with playing the game, but the trade-off to that is that the game also has a lot of depth, a lot of customizability to it as well, so that you have tons of replayability with it. But it always has a detraction to newer players, because it is harder to get into. And you're always going to be like seeing like the same people at the top. Because those who've learned the game have such a higher advantage over everyone else. Last Epoch, on the other hand, I would say very much is a much simpler game in terms of the mechanics, what they do, and how a person would understand them when they get into it. Like, I'd say no matter what genre you come in, you'll have a fairly good understanding of what skills are doing, and what to expect from your build without even being familiar with the ARPG genre in Last Epoch. So it has a much lower skill ceiling or skill floor, but at the same time, because of the way that they do the customizability, it has a similar level of depth to PoE as well. I am a genre. What genre am I, Raging Behemoth? The Geo genre? PoE is fun, but if the league mechanic is shit, like it currently is with Synthesis, burnout rates are significantly higher, which is where more ARPGs are nice. Yeah, I was talking about that the other day too, where I was thinking that PoE success a lot has come from their schedule with their seasons, and that's Chris Wilson had a pretty nice talk about it at the Game Developers Conference recently. But I was thinking that Last Epoch is also going to have a similar like season type of format. They're going to call it cycles. But I was thinking if you have more people or more games in the same genre that have the similar schedule and they are kind of rotating off of one another, so that they're not directly competing, but rather they're like giving other people something to do while they're waiting for the next season for the other game, then it's going to bring actually more people into the whole genre and make the population of each specific game also higher over time. Because then you have more people that are sticking with the genre and playing the games and getting involved in the community, like the greater community. Raging Behemoth likes Grim Tools over POB since it's a wiki and builder and map. What is... Oh, Grim Tools. So the Grim Dawn build manager over the PoE path of building. Grim Tools. A link. Grim Dawn Tools. Interesting. That does look like a wiki. But they already have their own wiki too. Interesting. It's just okay, so it's just a full database. 6 in 1. That is pretty nice. And I think I don't know where Last Epoch has gone with, or with the if there are still plans to make it, but they were planning on making a like a guidebook, like an in-game guidebook. So it might have been something similar to that, like having a bunch of different APIs. No gambler. How am I supposed to waste all my cash? Come on, game. Why do you need a guidebook when you have me in chat? Exactly. That's what they should do. We should just put me in the game. Just answer everyone's questions. We'll just have a special wiki tag. Hello, I am the in-game guidebook. Did it work? Did I do it right? Where'd it go? No! Chat! Chat! In-game chat. You're broken. Oh well. You like the product before the redo. The Grim Tools redo? Right now it's just a dungeon for co-op testing. Oh, you're talking about Wilson. I see now. Wilson seems like Last Epoch started around the same time as Wilson, and they further ahead. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from a lot of people. They're pretty disappointed with Wilson. But they say it looks fantastic. The Unreal Engine. You still see it. See what? The chat? But did you see my chat? I was trying to type in chat. Or do you have your game open and you saw it? Oh, you have your open and you saw it? Weird. That is pretty strange. They're replacing the whole chat system soon anyways, so it's not worth submitting a bug report over. But that is interesting. What is the biggest thing coming from beta? I would say that the biggest thing coming is a new endgame system. We're going to be getting the monoliths of fate. It's not going to be the finished endgame system. Haka was saying that it's going to be pretty stripped down and bare bones from the start, but it's going to be Druid. Druid is nice. That was going to be my second thing, but the monolith is going to add a lot more replayability to the game. The only endgame system we have right now is the arena, which was never intended to be an endgame system in the final game, but enough people liked it that they're actually going to rework the arena and build it into something to have in the actual release. But that was designed during the demo over a year ago, just so that we had something to do once we capped out. Yeah, I'm struggling here. Struggle bussin'. It's a good thing I'm so lucky with these potions. Oh my gosh. It's like a genius build. What is my chance to find potions? Is that a character stat? Chance to find potions? Poison damage. Other stats? Health gain output. Increased chance to find potions. 114%. I don't think that means I have 100% chance of finding potions. But I don't know what the base chance of finding a potion is, so its number is not particularly useful. Check Discord. Oh boy. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I was gonna... Summary of the community stream from earlier. I was going to, before I started the stream, create a, what do you call those? Cliff notes. I was going to create a cliff notes of the stream and just kind of go over and unpack everything from the stream. But I just didn't have enough time to do that beforehand, so I was just going to try and do it from memory. But it looks like you already did it. Thanks. Arena as a PvP mode. No, Arena is not a PvP mode. There will be PvP though, and that will be the Colosseum. The Time Lost Colosseum. Oh, that's pretty neat. I don't think I've seen Deadpan around. I'll have to stop in when he's streaming, or if I ever see him. I need boots still. Look at my acolyte, all bootless. Feet sinking into the ground. Oh my. So that was one thing I was going to talk about is Hackett did give a general idea of when he thought that maybe possibly multiplayer might be coming. Which he wanted to emphasize was by no means a guarantee, but he was thinking it would be something like 4 or 5 months after the release of beta. Should be our first indication of when they were possibly planning on it. And they said they're going to be progressively upping the number of people in the testing. So it might be a thing that certain backers would have access before others. I don't know. But that does mean that PvP is probably going to be even further off when it does get implemented. This guy's, yeah, I'm dealing no damage right now. All of my stuff is invested in potions, which is not particularly useful, and I can't kill the things. I'm gonna have to rethink what I'm doing here. Ow. Are the stash and inventory set in stone, or are those going to be changed? The inventory, they're most likely not going to be changed. They spent quite a bit of time on the inventory. The stash more likely has an opportunity to be changed. They for sure are not going to be adding MTX tabs. You will have whatever stash is available from the onset. You will actually be surprised if the game launches next year. Just 3 years for development is pretty insane, especially if it's going to be well received. Yeah. And from what they've been doing so far, they have been on top of like meeting their goals. I want leech. I want leech. Give me something. Yeah, potions. Yay. That was part of the community stream. They're just going over like all the stuff that has changed since alpha, and since the beginning, basically. They've changed so much. They've gone through like a super high turnover for their staff as well. Which, if you think about it, makes sense because almost none of their staff is paid. More and more of the staff is getting paid, obviously, as more and more people are buying into the game, donating, etc. How vocal are the devs? I would suggest checking out https://discord.gg//Epoch. Checking out that link for the Discord. They are super vocal in the Discord and on the forums. Sarno is the CM, and he's posting like, I could say he's posting every day, but that would be an understatement because he's posting like 20,000 times a day. I mean, it's insane. I don't think he's taken a day off in the last year. Yeah, so I think at the end of Kickstarter there was a total of, Mike was the third actual full-time employee. And then they also added a new UI developer, which based off of this UI, he's doing a pretty good job. If you look back at what the UI used to look like in the pre-alpha days, or even before then. I'm not sure if any other people have been added since then for full-time. They've not said anything, so I would assume not. But of course, they might have potentially done so and just not told us. Alright, I need to rethink where my damage is coming from, I think. And I would say and my sustain, but I feel like my sustain's going to get better if I can figure out my damage situation here. Alright. So I don't know. The potions feel strictly worse than health leech. You have to do the same thing gets you the end result, right? You kill the mobs, you get health. However, you actually have to kill the mob to get the potions. You just have to damage the mob in order for leech to work. The potion requires a second step, and that you actually have to press the potion as well, so you have to be able to react with it, which could be a plus side, you know, if you have an otherwise really tanky character, and you're just saving that health potion for that random spike damage that you get. But that's only if you have enough potion slots to save up enough potions to make a difference. I'm not feeling that 3 potions is enough for that. Okay, this is heals when not taking damage. So I'm just going to face tank you with Rip Blood. My chat is broken, by the way. People are typing, but I can't see it. The in-game chat, maybe I'll turn it off and on again, see if that works. Alright, so I'm just not going to be able to kill this mob ever, so I'm just going to leave. But I currently have no way to kill that mob. Which is unfortunate. When you die, can you just respawn with no punishments? Currently, yes. There is a plan to eventually add punishments for softcore deaths. Of course, if you are playing hardcore, there is a punishment. When you die, the punishment is that your character rips forever. They do not pass go, they do not collect $200, they do not go to softcore mode. They are gonzo. Looking at the FAQ, can you sell buy items for real money? Answer simply no. They might want to add on to that because it seems like they don't care if you do. I don't know, that seems pretty like, what would they add on to that? No, you will be banned? That's essentially what that means. Okay. They can probably add that. That's most likely what the intent is behind it. But they might not handle bans in the same way because last Epoch will have two gameplay modes. You'll have online and offline gameplay. So they might just ban you from online gameplay but let you continue to play the offline mode. So, oh, you did a stupid thing. Well, I guess your online account is ripped, but you still get to keep and play the other version of the game. Why did I come over here? I needed to do something. Alright, increased potion find is real money trading is bad. Okay. Correct. Oh my gosh, give me a break, mobs. Reading it is like no wink wink. Yeah, I mean, why take away someone's access to the game if you can just take away their access to the part of the game that they're ruining? Like, not even Venom Weavers? I know, right? So I have no boots and no gloves on. Have I hit level 7 yet? Cool, I can put on some gloves. Maybe I can get some damage this way. What am I going to put on you? So, added? Can I get added damage from something? Melee damage, leeches health. So I don't want to rely on leech for this build. I want to rely on potions, which at the moment makes me feel really bad. I don't feel like potions feel very good right now, but I'm going to see if it can feel good later after I ramp it up a bit. Okay, so added actually isn't going to give me what I want. I want damage. Spell damage for 4 seconds on potion use. Oh, that's why I wanted to go primarily spells. Necrotic damage increased. I want melee. Alright, melee, fire melee, cold, melee, lightning, physical, void. Is there no melee necrotic damage? Probably not. Potion build, eh? Yes, yes it is a potion build, Zinryu. Because we were talking about it on the community stream. I'm just like, you know, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if it actually works, because I haven't seen anyone actually try a potion build. How did this noob get a higher rank in your Discord? Careful, children, that's a lot of sodium. Oh, by the way, everyone else in chat, Zinryu is in chat now, so you can click on his name for a link to his Twitch channel. He's currently doing a giveaway tomorrow and Saturday. What were the times for the giveaways tomorrow, Zinryu? It was 8 p.m. Eastern. And then it's Saturday 2 p.m.? Is that right? Does that sound right? Something like that? Gino just wants you to give it straight to him, Zinryu. But Raging, you have your own special role. You're not sharing it with anyone else. It's like me. I'm the only other person there with my own special role. Saturday, ish. Euro friendly. Saturday, no idea. Stream starts at 2. 2 Eastern, which would be 1 Central, which is the time I'm based out of. So, those are 2 giveaways you can tune into. Right. What can I add to this guy? I want necrotic damage. I'll just increase it, I guess. Actually, no. I'm not dealing necrotic damage right now, which is my issue. So I'll just get the melee physical added. Okay. Okay, game. Gonna do that to me already? Alright. I need to add something else, I guess. I'll add some health to my armor. Health added. 445 health shards. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for stream start. So I will probably be also streaming while Zinryu is streaming. I'll probably start an hour after him. So I'll just have to make sure to raid his channel right before he does the giveaway. I'll have his chat like open on the side. Look at all these potions. The chance rate certainly scales pretty well, it would seem. I only put it on like 2 pieces of gear. Bleeding purple. Raging is on the Discord messages today. Alright, so this already feels better. All I added was melee damage and health. This game's weird. Making me craft gear at level 7. What? Hey Euphoria. Hey Zinryu, are you going to do another giveaway tomorrow? Yes, he is. I'm 2 followers away from that affiliate invite. So I had a couple ideas for thanks for the follow, Gino. It makes me 1 follower away. I think the my overlay says that I met the goal, but I think it's no, it doesn't. Cool, my overlay is on track. So 1 away from the goal, which will give me a sub emote, as well as some VIP badges that I can give out to some people. My mouse died. Good luck streaming. You gave up because of real life issues. Fair enough. I'm not streaming like to be a professional streaming. I'm streaming because I love Last Epoch and I just want to share the game with everyone else. Like I would not stream myself playing Counter-Strike Go. No one wants to watch that. You were averaging 30 to 40 viewers on RuneScape. Nice. But I started thinking about some sub badges I can use. An obvious and simple one would just be my avatar, which would be kind of cool because it's Last Epoch art, but I'd have to like ask 11th hour if they'd be okay with that and everything. I was also thinking of just a panini. Potions, duh. If you've watched some of my earlier streams, or if you've just heard me talk about Elder Paninion at all, who is a character we're going to see shortly, I always refer to him as Elder Panini, which is some laughs. If Zinryu wasn't going to make a Venom Weaver, I was thinking about making a Venom Weaver emote just to post in his stream. Is there a storyline for the game? There is indeed a storyline for the game, and based off of my personal and biased opinion, the storyline is fantastic. There is one developer working on the story and lore. His name is Kyle KQ, not to be confused with the other Kyle. Yes, you fight the evil Elder Panini. Like for the emote, you can even just like add like a beard to the Panini. It'd be hilarious. But yeah, they're working on the story all the time. Well, Kyle is. But one of the nice things about having one developer work on the lore content is it's slower. Like we're getting lore at a much slower rate than pretty much the rest of the game. But it does mean that the lore is of a higher quality and everything's pretty consistent. But yeah, the lore is all like heavily time travel inspired. We've got like 5 gods. We're going to save the planet from these void things. In the beta, we're going to be getting a prologue as well. So we might potentially be starting in a different era. So it might give us more of an idea of what our adventure is trying to accomplish. Era. Yes, there are 4 distinct eras. We are currently in the ruined era. You can see it up here in the right corner. Or maybe not. Yeah, you can. My overlay's not covering it. Alright, these guys are annoying. They're summoning. Summoning bastards! Era does not equal difficulty, no. So eras are part of the storyline. Chapters are, there's going to be approximately 12 chapters in the end game. By beta, we'll have about 5 of them, or like 4.5 or something. But you progress through the chapters, which will take you through the different eras. Like this right here is the ruined era. And then you use time travel to travel between the eras, which are basically points on that map. But it's basically all just storyline stuff. There are like interesting elements, like there's a quest in the game right now where once you time travel back to the Imperial era, you find this outcast camp. You get a key to unlock the college, and your goal is to investigate the College of Welrian right here. But in order to do that, you actually have to unlock the door back in the Imperial era. Then you have to go back to the future, back to the ruins of Welrian, and go into the college and pick up another key from a dead body. You can go back to the Imperial era, and then you can go in through the door and finish investigating the rest of the college. So it's like questline stuff. I think the Monolith of Fates are going to explore some alternate timeline stuff based off of the eras. So it's also got themes for the mobs. So you'll be fighting different types of enemies based off of the area you're in. It seems excessive. It's all time travel. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. Right, almost to the necrotic damage. We're gonna go Wandering Spirits for the free damage. Alright, damage. Damage. There's lots of damage. Increased damage, reduced fear. So we have the fear from the Wandering Spirits, which is certainly a possibility. I want to see. So this is all poison. This is like the poison side of things. I think by default it already deals necrotic damage. Damage scales with your increases to minions. Does not scale with... Does it scale with my increases to necrotic damage? Or only minion? Because they don't count as minions. I would just invest in Hungering Souls, but I know that Hungering Souls currently has a bug where if you take a certain node, it'll prevent you from accessing your entire from the shop. I don't want that yet. I would still like to use the shop. So if I kill an enemy, I drain... My health is drained. Interesting. That could work with the potions, because when I kill an enemy, there's a good chance I'll get a potion to counteract the health loss. So that's an interesting kind of interaction with the potion there. Do NPCs talk and monsters make sounds? Haven't heard any unless you've got them turned off. There is no voice acting for the NPCs yet. There will be voice acting, but they just need more of the game in place and set in stone. Because a lot of the dialogue is like pretty new currently. Monsters, they do make sounds. I think it's just too quiet currently for you to hear it. I think the music is louder on the stream than it is on my desktop. They don't make a lot of sounds though, to be fair. They just kind of go blah, blah, I'm a void thing. And their skills make sounds. But they've also been like replacing and doing lots of stuff with the mobs too. All of the sound effects is a work in progress. A work in progress. Time for pogs in chat. Or face palms. Alright, don't want to reduce damage. That increases the damage. What are my other skills? Maybe I do want to specialize in something else. Bone Golem, Hungering Souls, Sacrifice. Maybe we'll do that. Mega Soul. Return mana when it kills things. Increase damage on hit. Adds mana cost. Crit multiplier. So I can make it deal tons of damage. But Hungering Souls has this disadvantage of not actually piercing. So my Mega Soul would not be very good at clearing out trash. Which means it's not very good at clearing out anything. Is gold the only useful currency? Yes. Gold is not a very useful currency either, though. Gold is the only currency. Unless you count crafting mats. But even then I don't know how tradable they're going to be. They just haven't really put in a lot of the gold sinks yet. Because those are probably going to be like respec items. They're planning on adding more crafting items. The crafting items we have were just kind of a proof of concept for when they redid the crafting system. So they were waiting for some feedback before they added in some more crafting stuff, and they wanted that vertical slice of the game. So we'll probably get more crafting items. Buying items from vendors might be more important later. The currency for trading will be gold. Yeah, the gold sync is respec. Currently and probably in the future, but the respec is probably going to be reshaped. I'm not sure what else kind of gold sinks we could have. The bazaar is going to be a bit of a sink because they're going to tax you from it. I don't even need this. I'm going to throw this away. I have 2 of them. It's going to get wiped anyways. Alright, time for me to start dying when I kill things. But yeah, gold's going to be the only currency because the bazaar is the only way planned for people to be able to trade, except for with friends. And the plan is not to be like trading with friends, to be like a means of bypassing the bazaar, like having its own trade economy. It's meant to be as a way for like, oh hey, you have this cool thing, I have this cool thing, you're my friend, so I'm going to give it to you. It's not really meant to be a way to actually trade with people. The bazaar. Yes. There is a pretty in-depth forum post about the bazaar. It's their concept for player trading. It's a little bazaar. Thank you, Raging. What? What do you mean fail? That's it. It's just not a very flushed out page because it's not in the game yet. We probably need to post from the forum. For it to make sense. Oh. Just a delay bot. It's like I'm picking up so many potions that I'm just here. I'll actually drag the mobs to the boss. I'm picking up a lot of potions I'm just not going to use. Or potions that are wasted, I should say. I feel like 3 potion slots is reasonable for a non-potion based build, but if you're going potions based and you want it to be better than leech, then you need more slots. Otherwise it's just always going to be strictly worse than leech. Right? Auction house system with bidding. And like the big thing is that you're going to be limited to selling only 5 items a day. There's no like mass market trading. Five items a day or at a time? Both, I think. It's been a while since I read the Bazaar post. Okay. Oh, there's also supposed to be a race at some point. That was one of the other things from the community stream. Which I can't remember if the race was supposed to be with the release of beta or if that was supposed to be on Sunday. Negative. Neither? Eventually, on someday? Someday in the future there will be a race. Or there were plans for there to be a race. Okay, no official date, but soon after launch. Okay. So we'll have time to figure out the beta builds and what's new and OP. But we don't need to worry about what's working in this current iteration of the game because everything's going to get nerfed anyways. Are they like against trading? Kind of, yes. They don't... Yes. Yes is the best answer I can give. They don't want it to... This rock is super annoying and this boss is right on the rock. Come up here, boss. They don't want the trading to overshadow actually finding your own items. They don't want the end game to be just buying your gear. Which is what they feel is the case for most ARPGs on the market. Especially Diablo 3, they reference a lot as being like a mistake for trading. D3 did the stupidest thing out of it. It's what I hear. Alright, Elder Panini, you've been vanquished. I will take your shard now. Despite failing to protect the Panini from corruption. They eliminated the trading entirely. Yeah. Some people have said that the game will have trading for sure, yes. It will have trading and it will be limited. They don't want to make it too easy. And they don't want it to be a focus on the game at all. Yes, you can still buy all the end-game gear, it just takes time and you have to... There's less room for market manipulation with it. So it should actually, in theory, make the high-end items more valuable. Guilds, there will be guilds. There hasn't really been much talk about what features the guilds would have. Group stashes is certainly on the table. Or it might end up being something where... Thank you for the follow, Arfin Live. That makes you follower number 50. Which means eventually at some point I will likely reach affiliate status. So much appreciated. I hope you are enjoying the show. 49. My Twitch dashboard says 50. According to the top panel. Yours says 49. It probably hasn't caught up yet. Oh, McMagic just followed as well. But I think that's a refollow, isn't it? Woo! New Bert. There's the notification. McMagic wanted to be number 50 too. So I'll have to figure out whenever it is that the affiliate status rolls around and do a special stream then. From what I understand, it takes weeks for the application to process. Yeah. Get an email eventually. Alright. Necrotic damage time. Which means the melee damage I added to my broken scepter is now useless. But now the necrotic damage from my gloves and my set is going to be better. Where did... Oh, there's my belt. Thought I lost it. It took Arfin 3 hours. Oh, so maybe I'll have an affiliate stream tomorrow. I just read their help page and they said it takes weeks. But we shall see. And then I'll need to come up with an emote. If you have any ideas, you can hop in my Discord, toss me some ideas for some emotes. I'll be sure to listen to them, throw out some ideas of my own. It'll be a great time. Thanks everyone who's followed so far, all 50 of you. Always do a palm as a first emote. That sounds like solid advice. I don't know, Zinri's got a... His Zinri lol works out pretty good. One day, you actually have an Pog emote, and people will stop spamming face palm when you do something poggers. That's pretty. It's pretty hilarious, actually. It's like, hooray! Oh gosh, why are you doing something cool again? Or maybe it's just you that thinks it's cool. Maybe your chat is actually facepalming. You'll put in the Pog emote and no one will use it. Feels bad, man, indeed. Just use ragings. Kappa. Unfollowed bully streamer. Rip. I jest. So I am standing here and just swiping because I am noticing that they actually have the levels of the animation down, which I was not actually expecting. Like, you can see that now the acolyte is aiming lower towards the ground. If she turns this way, she's actually aiming higher. The weapon is, anyways. I don't think the character is actually changing, which is weird. I don't know. Alright, maybe I should do something more spell-like. So I can get the spell damage on potion use. There's no melee damage on potion use, which means the Hungering Souls is not going to be super, or the Harvest isn't going to be as useful as I can get spells to be using the potion-based mechanic. She should actually start crafting some of that on something. Yeah, I'll just use this. I'll craft potion damage on spell damage on potion use on something. Maybe my boots. The boots I do not have. Maybe I'll wear Stormtide boots again. That was fun. For anyone that's not familiar with the game, there are boots called the Stormtide boots, which will shock yourself if you stop moving. Which, in case you're wondering, shock is not a very nice thing. It reduces your protections by a very, very significant amount and makes you more likely to get stunned by reducing your stun avoidance as well. And these boots have a way of just stacking more shocks than they're supposed to. You're supposed to only have one shock on you at a time, but there are several ways where you can get it so that it shocks you multiple times. Starting drifting in the 90s song. Right. I know. I think this music selection is better than the music selection from Pretzel. Using Epidemic Sound. It's supposed to be a subscription-based thing, but I'm just using the free trial for now. I don't get the joke. I really don't. I'm sorry. What is the currency to respect your passive trees? Gold. Straight up gold. In the future, I believe the entire respec system is going to get redesigned because it is super simplistic at the moment. You aren't supposed to stop moving, so put a hype song that is mostly used by speedrun. Oh. Okay. I see. You thought it was clever? I'm just really terrible with music, so like any music jokes are gonna go over my head. I just have a select few songs that I like. Enjoy a good ambiance. Ambience. These Hungering Souls seem they're doing pretty good work for now. All right, I want to craft some stuff. We'll craft on you because why not? Potion. Spell damage. Yes. Give me the damage. Yes. All the potions. Potion? I don't know. I didn't see too much of a damage ramp. Alright. No potion. 29, 27, 13. Now, potion. 88, 34, 40. Okay, so it's like 50% more damage right now. It's not enough. It's not enough to be worth the use of my potion. Level 15. Oh boy. Detonate corpse. Alright, increased health regeneration affects the drain percentage of your current health per second. So that would be that effect. Drain 5% reduced health, which I'm also gaining, or I will be having my health drained from the necrotic elixir when I use a health potion, so I think it'll be a good idea to invest in that node. It'll actually be a really good node for me. And ward stuff. So yeah, the rest of my points from this tree are going to be all in Crimson Gluttony. Yes, give me the potions. My acolyte's going to be fat. Fat from pot. A lucky leather frock. Well, that's a lucky leather frock. I was like, when did we get frocks? That's that would be a nifty little body armor. It'd be pretty neat, just running around with a leather frock. Chance to find potions. Give me more. What's my chance at? So I still have no idea what my actual chance to find potions is. I just know how much I've increased it by. So I know I've increased it by 260%, but I don't know what the base chance to find a potion is. Oh, I can reduce necrotic protection with this attack. It helps if I pay attention to what nodes I'm putting points into, I guess. Here we go. That's what I'll do. I'll run up to them, smack them in the face, and then punch them with some souls. Soul punch. I'll be two-punch man. That's what I get for not looking at the screen. Kill everything with the wandering spirits. Let's see, what else do I need to unpack from the community stream? There's the pros and cons wish list for beta. The potion system. Leather boots. Look at that, I got some boots finally. Alright, what can I add on? Get on here. Just chance to find potions. Or should maybe I start putting points into the health gained? I'll do that. Okay, that worked out well for me. Yeah. Let's see, they talked about the UI. I think the UI is in a pretty good state as it is. Ward obviously might need some additional flushing out, but Ward is a very hard mechanic to display without just using numbers. It has no maximum, so you can't put it in a bar or nothing. And it's hard to see what it is relative to anything, really. At some point, what we really need from the UI is buff indicators. For sure. Just something right up here in the upper left-hand corner. Am I stuck? Oh. There's supposed to be a wall there. I'm also thinking of, I don't know how I feel about the mana globe. I think the mana could be made to look more distinct so that people get a better sense of when things are turning negative. That's one of the things that's most unique about Last Epoch, I feel. Ooh. An invoker set item. Oh my. I only have one of those. So I think it's that one. So, not a new one. But still, a fairly rare set item. Fairly rare indeed. Alright. So, the optimal combo is to mark things for death, summon wandering spirits, whack them with that, pop a potion, and then just fire tons and tons of hungering souls at them. So I am going to need to invest in hungering souls, but the question here is, do I invest in single damage hungering souls with like one big soul and just like for sure killing something? Or do I invest in area clearing hungering souls? And if I think about though where the build struggles the most, it's like against those single targets or like not being able to kill at least something right away and not getting access to another potion. So maybe investing in like the big soul would be a better idea so that I can at least get something, at least one thing dead pretty reliably, so that I always have potions that I can pop. Could be interesting. That. Combos. And no, not the pizza. Oh, we died. Woo. Alright, maybe I'm going somewhere with this build. It's hard to say for sure anything with this build yet, though. Okay, so I'm not going to invest in the life or the ward on this tree because I don't want, I want to see how just getting potions stacks up by itself. Okay, so I can increase the area of effect, so that can give me my area clear if I decide that I want my primary, the hungering soul to be the one big thing. Alright, bonus damage to marked targets is bigger. Increase crit if I hit recently. Get some coaling, which could be nice, but I can also get coaling from other sources. A skull stack. I have 6. My next harvest consumes those stacks and deals increased damage. Summon Wraiths on kill. I can lose health on attack. Lose 50 health for a plus 50% chance to critical strike. I wonder if that's ever worth it. Because I could go Life Eater, and as long as I have 50 intelligence, then it's a break even. It consumes all mana to gain ward, or inflict myself with bleeding. So I think for now, the safe route to play the harvest is just to go for the increased area. Ooh, that actually looks nice. I like the increased area for the skill effect. Hello, sane cultist. Yeah, you. How sane are you? Oh yeah, I need to leave chat and join chat. And bloop. Is my chat working now? It sure isn't. Still does not work. More damage, I guess. Maybe I'll invest in the fear from the wandering spirits, so that way I can just spend more time just killing things. And just kill things pretty slowly. And just rely on the hungering souls to being able to track them down while they're feared. How close am I to level 24 now? 17? So not very close at all. I feel like I'm just doing way more damage with Harvest compared to the Hungering Souls, though. I have added physical damage on my scepter, so maybe that's doing something. I'm not sure. In terms of what else I could build, go Wraiths with the Necromancer, really that's all I can really specialize in after I specialize in Hungering Souls. Well, let's take a look at what we can find that does potions in the passes, and we'll see what we want to end up getting as our main passive. Here, poison damage. If you've used a potion in the past 4 seconds, you have additional elemental void, necrotic poison, and poison. So everything except physical, but lose more of your health. And that's pretty high up there in the Lich tree. Is that the only one? Seems to be the only potion node on the Lich. Potion. Additional armor if I've used a potion. maybe I didn't need that armor node at the beginning. When I use a potion, I drain the life out of a random minion and use it to replenish my health. Health gain is equal to 20% of the minion's current health per allocated point. So I could invest in a blood, like a really tinky bone golem, to gain more health. If I triggered the effect of Life Drinker, if they had more health than I needed, gain excess health as ward. But I think that is the only, those are the only 3 potion nodes on Necromancer. So I could get the nodes here and then go all the way up to Lich and go for the Elixir of Death. Or go for the Elixir of Death and then just pick up the extra nodes from the Necromancer tree later. Which I think might be what I do. Let's go up here first. Get some extra spell stuff. Make magic. Your idea for skill respec. Keep the current system in place where you can despec a skill and it goes back to 0. I'll finish reading that in a second. Also, whenever you get a skill level, you can either move forward in the tree or spend that point to go back 1 in the tree. When you hit level 20, you are granted 1 free respec point. Interesting. I'm assuming... So then what happens to that point? When you hit level 20, you are granted 1 free respec point. So you have a point and then you can use it to go backwards or forwards, but then you should still be capped at 20 points overall invested into the tree. Okay, so the free respec point is so that you can go back down later. Okay. So you go back to 19, and then you start earning the experience again. I see where you're going. Right, what can I do here? Increase damage. It's tripled if I am low. Additional health. And health leech with spells. Intelligence but reduces health regeneration. Oh, I still need to finish the acolyte. So I will do that one soonish. Yeah, I can see that working. I have a feeling though that they're gonna want to put items into it somehow, so that there's at least a gold sink for it. So that way it's not all just experience. Yeah. Maybe you have to expend a certain item in order to make your point able to be used in order to go backwards. Like the skill point influxer device. You have to use one of those in order to turn your point into a negative point. Something like that. So I think I'm gonna go and get to the temple. And I think I'm gonna call it at the temple. So that way I have stuff to do tomorrow. Alright, increased necrotic damage. Do want that on my amulet. But, or my scepter, or a weapon really. A longsword. I need, how many potion slots does this have? 3? I need to find a new weapon. You like the idea of the passive tree being item sync based respec and the skill tree being a time sync based respec? Yeah. Oh, I just got a notification from Twitch. Path to affiliate achievement unlocked. Woo. What if they were quest rewards? What if you like had to do a certain end game, or you can get it from like any end game? But you had to like reach a certain point in each piece of the end game in order to unlock the respec. That'd be interesting. Because then you can like specify certain points in the story when you want like people to like stop and really look at their build. It should be really interesting for like when you change what mobs are like. Doesn't help you if you made a shit character and can't farm respec. Sure it would. If you also have the respec available in the base game as well from quest NPCs. Because it's behind an endgame wall. Yeah, no. Have it available in the base game too. Have it like be like a fixed point in the story that you reach them. Although, and then depends on how the Gates of Memoriam ends up working, but you can also like use the Gates of Memoriam as a way of like having a lower scaled end game system. So that way you don't have to go back to the actual story in order to have it. You do something story-based with time having an effect on you that allows respec. Yeah, they do something with the Epoch shard that you're carrying around. The thing that's supposedly allowing you to teleport through time. It could be giving you the right fluctuation patterns in order to reconsider your life decisions and become a different person and blah 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 blah. Yeah, time travel. New spec slot unlocked. We're gonna go for a big fat face. Unlock the mastery trees. Doo doo doo. This does more damage, it does seem. So I need a new everything, I think, now. New gear of everything. Can you repeat everything from the last 45 minutes or so, because you were away eating? I don't know about the last 45 minutes. I don't think I remember the last 45 minutes. But I can repeat the last 10 minutes. McMagic was talking about a skill respec system that is based on like every time you level up your skill, you have the option of putting that point in making a skill go forward, or you can put your skill point and invest it in taking away a point. So then, why is my arc so huge? So then, like, it takes a long time for you to de-invest your points. But it's not so bad to, like, take away a couple points here or there. Isolation. Is this one bigger? It is bigger. Look at that face. Oh, I did something. I ticked off these guys. Why did they all die? Oh, it was from the Wandering Spirits. You don't know about that one. Yeah, and keep the current system where you can go back to 0. Right, so now the idea is I use the harvest to clear the trash and the skulls to clear the bosses. We'll see if that works out. Okay, so don't need the mana back. Critical strike chance is good, but I think about the increased damage and the increased size, because that sounds fun. Giant skull. It doesn't look any bigger. I just want to see like this giant, like 20-foot skull just like rampaging down. Do. I have a feeling that harvest still does more damage than even the isolation node. Yeah. Last weekend, the devs were living on Twitch. I think this weekend they'll be going non-stop in channels. Yeah. It's a pretty hype time for sure. The nice thing is that there are like some devs that are like at this point don't have anything to work on, I'm pretty sure. Like, oh, I finished all the stuff I need for the patch. I'll just hang out in social media. But come Tuesday, oh boy. You think Ziggy's planning on streaming? I don't know. Riker or Quinn will probably come back. One of them. Both of them. You know, Zinryu, Raging Novatic, Lone Star Muffin. They're all going to be streaming probably. No launch time yet, no. I'd be very surprised if they gave a launch time just because there are things that could go wrong. They might not even have all of the versions out at the same time. Like they've done it before where they've released like Linux or Windows or whatever out slightly before whatever other version just because it was done getting prepared first. Expect to see Ziggy D, Riker, and maybe Quinn playing. Oh my gosh, I died right before the door. How embarrassing. Yeah, I would not be surprised if they're all playing at the same time. That'd be a lot of their viewers. And plus, like everyone else that is playing. I might try and like find. So my plan during launch day is to work on the wiki. That's like my primary thing in the Last Epoch community. This is the wiki. Wiki man. So I might find someone that is streaming though and just hang out and chill with them in their stream. You know, maybe not one of the people that doesn't have like hundreds of people in chat. But so I'm gonna be getting to the zone where I'm gonna log off for the night. I'm getting pretty tired. So the schedule for this week is gonna be a bit weird, probably. So tomorrow I'll probably be on around the same time, which is 7 o'clock Central, aka 2 hours ago. I might be pushing it back a little bit, just depending on whenever Zinryu is streaming, or if when he's finishing up and planning on doing his giveaway. This stream's gonna start before mine, but might end up doing something where I'm streaming and I just raid and host him for the giveaway and then go back to my stream. But then Saturday is also going to be another one of his streams, and I think probably something is going to be going on Sunday as well. But Saturday and Sunday I'm still going to be aiming for my usual 4 o'clock time. But just going to kind of play it by ear and see what else is going on. Going to go get the checkpoint. But anyways, thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate all the support. Super hyped for getting that affiliate email. I'll start pumping out some ideas for some emotes. I'll probably be posting them in Discord if I can manage to find the time to like mock up some copies of them. For anyone that doesn't have the link to the Discord, who's not a part of it, it's right there in chat. Feel free to click the link, join the Discord for my stream. It's nice and cult themed, so you're welcome to join the Discord cult. Other than that, I'm going to find someone to throw everyone off to for now. But everyone else have a fantastic evening. Let's see who is streaming right now. I'm going to go ahead and throw everyone over to Tweezus. We'll see how he's enjoying the game. So I believe this is his second day playing, so we'll be nice to him in chat. But, alright, sending you on out. Thanks everyone for stopping by.
Put on a bunch of items, but it still seems to get me.